오래간만입니다. I've seen some of you 30 years ago last time. Thank you so much for coming to our father's 80th birthday party. What a special moment in his life. Some of these photos I think I've seen for the first time. He was a handsome guy, no? Right? But we've been separated for years because of this COVID, and I'm so pleased that we're able to gather again today. I'd like to say, with memories of my father, I spoke with my children, Felix and Nina, to remind me what they think I wish like. And he said he's really fun and relaxed, and like that's not what I remember. But he certainly has become very fun, very relaxed. He's been a great grandfather. He's been a great dad. As a kind of a personal story, I can tell you that one of the biggest moments of my life was when I was applying for a professorship at the University of Pennsylvania. I was alone in the hotel the day before I give my presentation and I meet with senior faculty. It wasn't an easy time. I was very nervous, very, very stressed. One of those things where you cough and can't keep up with the coughing. But I spoke with my dad, and he was the one to calm me down and said everything is going to be fine. We're praying for you, and you have your mom and my full support. And it worked out. I'm really pleased to announce. Thank you, Dad. All right, I'll turn it over to my brother.
Happy birthday, Dad. I have so many memories of you, Dad, and us together, and you really caring for my faith and really wanting the best for me in my life. And there's seeing photos of my dad with the muscle car and things like that, like so cool. But by the time I was born, my dad was older and wearing clothing of an ajashi and stuff like that. So I didn't get to experience that side. But Dad, you've always been so good to me, and you've always supported me and helped me and prayed for me, and showed me your love that way. A lot of times I like to end off my phone conversation with my dad with "I love you, Dad," and hoping that one day he'll feel comfortable enough to say "I love you back." But so sometimes it's "I love you, Dad," and then there's just silence, and that's good. But as many of us know in our experience with our parents, you know that your parents love you because of how much they do for you and how much they're there for you, and that's the same with my dad too. That he's always been there for me, and loved me through lots of things. And so, Dad, I appreciate you. I love you very much, and just your love and care for the next generation. And we see other pastors that are around my age, that are like my contemporaries, my generation, and you've always loved and poured into the lives of the next generation of faith, and that speaks a lot to who you are. And so I'm just so grateful for you. So I love you, Dad. Happy birthday.
Speech. So I'm sorry it's going to take a while to get comfortable. Hello everyone, my name is Catherine. You may know me as Kim Yoo-jin. You may know me as Kathy. You may know me as Kijibe, Mengkongi, or Natunong. Those are my parents' nicknames for me, I guess. Anyhow, my dad and I, we share this special day, June 26th. He was born on this day in 1942, and me and my husband, Sam, got married on this day in 2004. While I was dating Sam, he and I went to a Korean restaurant with my parents. And as as you can imagine, quite a few people came up to my parents to greet them. We got free food. A lot of great things happened that day. And Sam asked me, "Is your dad a celebrity? Is your mom a celebrity? Are your parents Korean celebrities?" So let's answer the question. Is my dad a celebrity? First off, look at my dad's hair. He's got the hair of a celebrity. It's great, luscious, thick hair. It's curly. People have been jealous of his hair my whole life. My dad was in the Marines in Korea. As you know, the Marines is one of the toughest military divisions. Hoorah and all of that stuff. But is my dad a tough guy? Well, he was in the band. So maybe not the toughest Marine, but he was a musical Marine. Does he have the personality of a celebrity? What do you think is what's the first thing that you would say to describe Kim Ki-moon Jang-yeon? Would you say funny? A lot of people say funny. He's good-natured. His laugh is loud. He's ready to make a joke. What are some other interesting personality traits that he has? Well, he's very handy. He can fix so many things. I'm sure you guys have all seen him doing the AV at the Keto One, putting up drywall at the Keto One, like figuring out fertilizer and like recycling and all kinds of things at the Keto One. And my dad, growing up, he always had one white friend. And that one white friend was also very handy. It used to be Lord Porter. Then it was Rolly. Currently, he does not have one white handy friend. So if any of you know of a handy friend who is a white man, please introduce him to my father because he needs somebody. The other thing about my father, he's adventurous. He loves to go on adventures. He travels all over the world, Canada, Ontario, even Toronto. Has he taken any of you to the Caravana Parade? There was like a, 5 or 6 year stretch where he went to Caravana every year because he thought it was very interesting. He also happily eats food from all around the world as well. Have any of you had dim sum with him? Or nang? Another thing about my dad is he has a very sensitive nose. He can smell things. He's like a guard dog. It's crazy, his nose. And I will say that if you're a teenager growing up with him, and maybe you've had some interesting substances and you've been up to no good, my father will be able to tell right away. The other thing is he's quite ingenious. My mom always calls him an idea bank. My mother, who is very talented and amazing in her own way, she made my wedding dress. She designed it, she made the pattern, she fitted it to me, it was amazing. One thing we couldn't figure out is how to place the lace on the back of my dress. Guess who figured out the best way? That's right, Kim Ki-moon Jang-yeon. He walked in, he looked at these pieces of lace, and he said, "You know what? Why don't we put it here? There. Yeah, oh, it's so nice." We're like, "Oh my gosh, great idea, Dad." Every celebrity has a kryptonite, don't they? And what is his kryptonite? It is the smell of fish. If any of you want to torture my father, bring him into an enclosed space. Cook fish. No ventilation. And do not let him eat it until it is cold. He will go crazy. But even better than a celebrity, he has all these great character traits. He's generous, loving, kind-hearted, he's faithful to God, to his family, and beyond. Yes, so let me get a little bit personal and talk about him as a dad. He had great moments. He had good moments. And he had not so good moments. First off, as funny as Kim Jong-un is, he's kind of getting a little grumpy old man. But I guess, he is 90, so maybe he's allowed. I like to think that as his only daughter, I bring out the best in my father. Right, Dad?
Yes.
But even with me, he's getting grumpy and irritated. I mean, he's been like that with those guys for like many years, so eventually I knew it was going to come to me, but I guess the day has come. When I was 14, him and my mom made the decision to move our family to the Kirawan. And I was at the height of my hormonal power. And to say that I was angry about moving all the way to Kirawan is an understatement. I was furious. I was raging. Did he care? Not really. He did not care. I think him and my mom were too busy and stressed out about the change in their life to care about their angry rebel daughter and my siblings. Anyway, in the end though, as much as I hate to admit it, the Kirawan has actually been good for us too. It's taken over 30 years for me to come to that realization, but I'm here now. We have loved living on the land, eating food from the land, seeing our own Haraguchi, my dad's dad, spend his last productive, healthy, happy years working on that land. And then of course our children. Our children love going up to the Kirawan and they enjoy the land so much as well. And so the question of whether he is a celebrity, it's not really important, is it? The measure of his life, his legacy through ministry, through his work at the Kirawan, his friendships, his family, his legacy is deep and it's wide. I want to thank you all for listening to me ramble on about my dad. I want to thank you for coming to his 80th birthday party. Each of you in this room have played an important and significant part in his life. And for that, I and my brothers as his children, we are really grateful to you for contributing to his life. Yeah, it's been awesome. I want to also make a special mention to my Imo, Chongshini Imo, and my cousin Vicky, who flew here from the East Coast in the States. We really appreciate it. Actually, Chongshini Imo is also the one who basically forced my parents to have a party because they were not going to do this. They would not have done this without her bothering them from New York. Another, I also want to shout out my brother Simon and his wife Mariana and his 2 children. They flew here all the way from California and they're only here for like not even 72 hours, all so that they could celebrate my dad's birthday. And like, you know what it's like traveling these days through the airport, the delays and all of that stuff. Like for family members to fly from the States to come here right now, it's really a big deal. So truly, I'm so thankful that you guys made the trip. Some of you have traveled from Niagara. Some of you have traveled from various parts of Ontario to get here, and I really thank you for being here. I want to thank Hugh Otanin for emceeing and translating. Hugh, I have to apologize. Hugh, it was my idea to bring you here, so you have me to thank for. You can complain to me later. But you've done such a great job. We really appreciate everything that you've done, and also the role that you played in my dad's life. Like you guys. You're like his best friend or something, I don't know. I want to thank Andrew Park's mustache. He grew it, and it's really important, guys. I also want to thank Esther Shin Kim. That's right, Esther. I'm thanking you, Alvin's wife. She did the decor, she did the cake. Her attention to detail this week, she's just been amazing. She's a great sister-in-law, great daughter-in-law. I'm just very thankful that she helped pull this whole. We couldn't have done it without her. So I thank Alvin for marrying her. Back to my father. The last thing I want to say is, Dad, I hope you continue to live a life belated birthday and happy anniversary, Sam.